Since the release of Wilds, the Monster Hunter franchise's popularity has been at an all-time high, and this comes with a lot of positives. On the other hand, it also comes with its fair share of negatives. And so today, me and my hunting squad, the Screaming Anomalies, are going to be reacting to one such negative in the form of a rant video that was posted not too long ago about one of the mechanics being removed from the newest title. Now, I want to preface this video by saying that we by no means have any ill will towards this creator, and you shouldn't either. We as a group just wanted to discuss this topic, particularly Neil and I, and wanted to kind of dip our toes into the controversy. So please don't go and harass this guy and just enjoy our reaction and our discussion. Alright, so I've got the squad here. We are going to be reacting to this video that a creator by the name of Kuda has posted, deciding to rant about something in Monster Hunter, and I've watched a little bit of it. I don't think any of these three have really watched it, and I wanted to show it to them.
Watched a bit.
We've discussed it a little bit because we kind of perused the comments and saw what other people were talking about. But this, let's just watch it. Let's just watch it. We'll pause and talk about it when things come up.
This is just going to be a completely raw and unfiltered rant because this is just going to be a completely raw and unfiltered rant because I need to get it off my chest because it's stuck with me ever since I played the beta and I'm absolutely sick of it. Okay, first off, the clutch claw. Capcom, why did you think that getting rid of the clutch claw was the best option that you could do? Are you just trying to be different?
Okay, I already want to talk about something because
Homeboy's already wrong.
So Capcom removing the clutch claw is not like a decision that they were like, oh, like on the fence about doing. It's always been a thing about the Monster Hunter series that they are always doing something different. Even since the first one, there's always been new mechanics, new like everything within a new Monster Hunter. And honestly, I think the removal, and like technically speaking, they didn't remove the clutch claw. They just changed
it's still
it.
There. Yeah, they just took away the grappling feature to the monster.
But I feel like that's for the better, because, like, I didn't get to play a lot of World. I only started playing World in 2024, but even I could tell you that the Clutch Claw was overpowered, right? Because you'd slam a monster into a wall and do, like, 1,000 of its health. That's, like, already, what, like 10% of its health just, like, gone like that?
Yeah, and you didn't even have to hit it with a weapon.
But that's the thing. The games have always been different, so this dude is already in the wrong. And I want to point out too, he posted another video kind of being like, hey, I'm sorry for ranting and like being really angry. It was just in the moment kind of thing, and posted a more calm video. We're reacting to this one on purpose because we want to see how egregious this is. So let's continue.
Just because of the sake of being different. Okay. Learning about tenderizing monsters in Monster Hunter World was fun. And not only fun, it was rewarding. Okay. You actually feel like a hunter. You know, it's almost like Attack on Titan. I feel like I'm Levi. Okay?
Okay, it's
I feel like
it's so clear that this man is a dual blades main. It is so clear that this guy is a dual blades main. But he goes on to talk about how like tenderizing is rewarding. It makes me feel like a real hunter. And like it almost makes it seem like he's saying they completely removed that, which they didn't. They expanded upon it. The wounds are a thing now, and popping the wounds the way that you do in Wilds now feels almost even more rewarding. Hell, it is more rewarding. Breaking the wounds gets you parts. You get way more parts from doing these hunts in Wilds just by breaking the wounds. It's absurd.
It also, if you're working with other players, it actually inspires teamwork.
Exactly. Yes. Because the wounds,
oh my god,
the wounds in and of themselves in single player are a massive, like, just damage dealer and like just helper all around. But in multiplayer, you really have to like separate the wounds. Not one person can just be popping all the wounds because then they just get all the benefits from it. It's crazy. I feel like wounds are even better than tenderize. Like, yeah, sure. Could you come down with your weapon and add like a bunch of wounds on a monster's like face or tail and deal more damage to it? Sure. But this is pretty much the same thing, if not better, right?
I forget. Isn't the like with dual blades, doesn't focus mode allow you to actually constantly zipline a lot of places?
I think
actually,
so.
Some of the movements for the dual blades, because I've actually used them a little bit. Some of them allow you to do some acrobatic stuff.
Yeah.
To be able to do like
So,
I think it's when you get a perfect dodge, you can start like flying around like Levi does.
Because like that's the thing too about this game, and I don't know if he touches on it because we haven't gone all the way through it, like I said. But the offset moves and the things they added to this game that allow you to do some of these like animations and things that he, as he said, make you feel like a hunter, are way more abundant in this game. I feel the strongest I have ever felt in Wilds than I do in any other game, and that's saying something, especially playing Longsword in Rise. So that's really saying something. We, okay, let's see what else he's got to say.
Hunter. And not only doing that, but slamming monsters, right? Getting stones or dragon pods or whatever it is and just...
You can still do that.
It's fun and rewarding, man.
More satisfaction from the
no.
fighting.
Exactly.
It's rewarding, it's skill-based. Okay, I've got dot points here that I wrote down because I know I'm going to forget.
That's another thing I wanted to point out. This man was like, okay, I'm going on an angry rant. I want to talk about this. But he scripted it. How are you going to take the time to be angry and then script it?
That's not a rant.
Anyway.
Completely.
And then he also, hold on, I need to point this out too. He also split it into chapters on what he's talking about. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah,
and
like, dude, if you're gonna rant
for that, for not having Clutch Claw at all, we get focus mode. Focus mode, Capcom.
That's how he keeps saying Clutch Claw as well. It's not as if he just took away.
Honestly, you are
every single bit of the actual grapple.
You are. Oh my god, you are so smart.
So, like, I personally, his issue with focus mode bothers me because all I hear is I'm upset that we can be more accurate.
And okay, that's the thing too. He's gonna bring up a point, and I'm gonna spoil the video a little bit. Shocker. He brings up a point that focus mode is just throwing out animations. You press a button and an animation happens. What is the rest of the game then, bro?
Yeah.
You press triangle and you attack. Boom!
Yeah, also, what about Clutch Claw in and of itself from World? That's the most egregious of it. Hold on. Let me latch to this monster's face, push a button, and do this animation.
Yep.
Ooh. Even less input.
Yeah. It's just so crazy.
I mean, it was like all the ammos as well. It's like they ended up all doing the same amount of damage to an extent, even though it's like, oh yeah, it's a stone. Somehow, still is able to contribute close to 1,000 damage. Meanwhile, like some of the rarer ammo usage is do about the same. So all ammo became just one tedium.
Yeah, and I mean, like each ammo sure had its own like input, like the piercing pod on the longer monsters. You could just get a whole bunch of hits if you shot it like down the length of the monster, like the slicing pod or whatever it is. I can't remember the ammos, but like you could take the tails off with it, and like yeah, sure, but like the actual like burst in itself when you're trying to slam into the wall, it's all the same. It's the same animation, it's the same damage, it scales with your rank, whatever, like all that, it's all the same.
Yeah, there's no difference or variation between the only difference and variation between Clutch Claws in animation is what weapon you're using.
Yeah. And like the different wound attacks.
Yeah. Couldn't you also bring up the fact of I don't know what they're called in Wilds. I can't remember what they're called. But the whole where you could control the monster, it would be almost similar to that. But
you mean like the wire bugs in Rise, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of the same. The wire bugs are slightly different, but it is pretty much the same. You ride the monster, but you get to control it. Like, but even then, that's a different. Going back to the first problem we had, it's a different mechanic.
Yeah,
all the games have different mechanics. But okay, let's see what he has to say about focus mode.
Yeah, let's see.
Why would you want to remove one of the most satisfying and tactical things that you could ever do when it comes to monster
Focus
hunting.
mode
How is Clutch Claw more tactical than Focus Mode?
Alright, sweet.
Yeah.
So now we can only clutch claw things that are in the environment. Stalagmites, stalactites, whatever the fuck they are called, I don't know.
Why is bro getting mad over
Pillars on
geography?
the roof. That's the only thing we can clutch claw. Things in the environment to help us fight monsters. Good job.
There's a lot more in the environment now, though.
That's so fun. I'm so tilted, honestly. Focus mode, okay? This is like, this makes fights feel so slow and sluggish and unrewarding. I don't even know if that's a fucking word. I don't feel rewarded enough, Capcom. Okay? What do I have here? It forces lock-on mechanics. So instead of feeling
Wait. So you're upset about it forces lock-on mechanics? You mean the lock-on mechanics that have been in the game since I don't know, maybe like the third game in the whole series?
But like he's almost talking about it in a way that it's like you almost get auto aim, which is not the case. I have aimed my focus mode directly at a wound and had it miss entirely. This is not a lock-on mechanic.
No.
You know,
I use the bow, and I only have one weapon, like only one attack that has a lock-on mechanic.
Yeah.
I think I'm the only weapon in the game that has a lock-on mechanic like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the Clutch Claw in World allowed you could fire in a general location, and it would usually either grapple to the body, or if you're closer to the head, maybe the head, which was more of an auto aim.
Yep, I agree. I feel like the Clutch Claw had more of this lock on that he's speaking about.
Huh?
Something, worthwhile. You make me hold down Shift on the PC, which is
okay. First of all, I'm gonna make this real quick. Man's playing on keyboard. That was his first mistake.
Yeah. Also,
and I can see.
Also, if you have a problem with it being on the shift button, there's this crazy option on the main screen called keyboard configuration, where you can change it to any other button on your keyboard.
Or better yet,
change it so it's either a hold or just a quick toggle.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Yeah. You don't have to hold it. There's an option to change it to toggle. You can press the button and it changes. It makes it so much easier. I mean, I prefer it because I'm on controller. It's so much easier to hold L2 and be able to turn my character around super quick.
Like, yeah, and I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, oh no, you have to press one whole button extra.
Yep.
Ooh.
And it's a shift key with, same as running anywhere.
Yeah. I don't know.
See the weak points where I've attacked the monsters the most. Awesome. That's good to know. But then what do you want me to do? You force me, which is not really hard at all.
Nobody's forcing you to do anything.
Hit those weak points in focus mode and let the animation.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Like that's what any attack in this game is.
While I'm sitting here,
push a button animation.
Fuck all.
Okay, just because you're playing dual blades,
I say it all the time. Destiny
doesn't mean you need to knock on everybody.
Okay. He's about
that move. That move he did right there. That was from the Great Sword, actually. Hate to break it to you, the Great Sword is the easiest weapon in the whole game to use.
Can confirm, I've been using
it. like, I'm not trying to dog on anybody. It is the first weapon the game gives you. Every single game.
The game gives you a great sword, and it is probably by far. I wouldn't say it's like probably the easiest. I think you can equate the easiest to hammer, which David.
Yeah. Bonk.
Apparently, this is just call David out time right now.
Yeah, I guess.
Call your editor.
I feel like that one's too, but like, I don't know. But he's about to get into talking about like why isn't Monster Hunter a live series game, and I think this is the point that like really made my blood boil.
Wait, another DLC? What was it? DLCs also show up like, I think what was the closest one for whatever number of worlds was almost a year and a half later, if I remember.
Yeah, something like that. But like that's always been the case with Monster Hunters, or at least like the recent Monster Hunters. It's always been,
I know,
main game comes out, they do title updates, and then they release a huge DLC, which is basically the equivalent of an entirely new game.
Yeah,
I know Rise was the first one to announce that they're going to have DLCs really early on.
Yeah.
Well, that's because Rise came out as half a game.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Because you didn't get Master Rank until you had the DLC.
Yep.
What?
So
yeah, it was literally half of the game.
Pretty much.
Hence why the game itself was $30.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you guys need to hear what he says about like Monster Hunter World not getting a new DLC.
Oh, we didn't write it down. What's the other game? Final Fantasy, right? I'm pretty sure Final Fantasy 14. Is it 14? They have DLC that are going on for years, and look how well Destiny 2 is doing still. Even though us think it's not that good.
Destiny 2 is suffering right now.
Yeah, Destiny 2 is dying.
Okay, tell me, did you really think that if you were to keep on doing DLCs for Monster Hunter World, that players would like eventually drop out?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. Because let's think about it, right? Monster Hunter comes out, releases all you have all these monsters, all these weapons, all these quests, whatever. They release eventual events that maybe add new monsters, maybe add new stuff. Like World had the Final Fantasy hunts. Those were kind of fun.
Yep.
Imagine eventually, say, Capcom runs out of ideas and they're just releasing DLC for one game where it is just the same monsters over and over again with little to no change in weapons or armor or the way that the monster functions, which is what most live service games are. Let's be real. It is just like little to no change with every DLC they release. And let's be real too. And I want you to get real close to me here. Live service games are just a cash grab. All right.
Correct. Also, can I mention that there were 3 Monster Hunter MMOs that were live service?
And you know what they all did?
Happened to them?
You know what they all did?
They're all gone except for one that runs on private servers via very, very dedicated fans. I couldn't even tell you any of these MMO names. I just know that they exist.
Yep.
I mean, what was it? It was I'm fucking blanking now. Damn it. But that's what. It was like if they keep adding, just like if it's okay, we'll just keep adding monsters. Eventually, you're gonna have too many monsters in one area.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's going to either limit the pool of how many are on the field, which is usually what they do, or it's going to be the longest turnaround just for one of them to show up.
Yeah.
And like, and think about this too, like the way that Monster Hunter World's like post game worked, and you're doing like the investigations in these areas. Imagine spending hours because there's like hundreds of monsters dedicated to that area and not seeing the one monster you need to hunt. Like, sure, there were ways to summon certain monsters, but they can't do that for everything if that's the way they did it.
Yeah. And like that's why I stopped playing Rise, is because it just turned into hunt the same monsters, but with slightly different red coloration to them. And they're a little harder, but it's the same monsters you've been hunting all game.
And I mean, I'm a Rise elitist. Like before Wild came out, I would say Rise is probably my favorite game in terms of like combat. Not necessarily story, but like combat and playstyle, Rise was my absolute favorite. But I am like sole in agreement that the Anomalies stuff, it really wasn't the great. And like granted, Rise was one of the they do the main games like World and Wilds, and then they do these side games like Rise where they focus more on like the combat and all that
and try new stuff.
So it's understandable. It's understandable that they do kind of like a lesser post game, but still, like imagine that as a game that's going on for like 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you want a AAA title that has garbage post game content? No.
Yeah.
Oh, well, here you go. That's what we're getting from most AAA titles these days. And there's a reason why people are upset.
All right, let's keep hearing them out.
No, Capcom, why are you scared of that? This is Monster Hunter World. How successful was fucking Iceborne? Look at Iceborne's success rate. It's almost more successful than the actual
major controversy
game,
of
Monster
Iceborne
Hunter
as
World,
well.
the base game.
Well, not controversy, just there's
Do
a
you
lot of
know why?
upstarts from it.
Because it pretty much is. Everyone loves the mechanics of Monster Hunter World. Everyone loves that you can clutch claw. Everything that you showed.
Nobody liked that you could clutch claw.
Clutch claw could be so abused. It made the game really easy compared to some.
A lot of fans called it the crutch claw instead of the clutch claw. So
because and the reason why I like I like Wild's clutch claw more than World's clutch claw because in World it felt like you had to use the clutch claw. In this game, it is just another tool in your kit. Yeah. It's there if you want to use it.
Yeah. Like, I felt like mounting felt like a necessity in World more than it did feel like something that if you get it, it is a boon to you. Like it helps you. Like you can open those wounds and deal damage and do like a finisher in order to drop it for other people. Mounting just felt like a necessity. Like, oh, I'm on the monster. Now I can swing my hammer down and help the team do more damage. Like, it felt like I had to do that to hunt some monsters.
Yeah, and if I'm being totally honest, I don't think I have dinked off of more monsters in my life than in World. So tenderizing was also an absolute necessity in some cases.
Yeah.
Especially when you got to those master ranks and your weapons weren't quite up to snuff yet.
Exactly.
Where the monster kept regenerating its armor fast.
Yeah, that too.
Hunter World as the base game, people loved, but the problem was there wasn't enough challenges, in my opinion, okay? It was more story-based, you know, Xeno'jiiva as the final boss, that basically, you know, compared to like Fatalis as Iceborne's last boss and Alatreon, however you pronounce it, okay, it was more of like a cinematic game. Cinematic boss fights. Iceborne was bloody amazing, and the fact that you did not decide to do another DLC or even more DLCs is blowing my mind.
Does this dude just not know the concept of sequels?
Yeah.
I just can't
like that's my question. And I also gotta say this. Bro, when you're making a new DLC, it has to be better than the last one.
Yeah.
Or people won't move over.
Exactly. So if Iceborne was an absolutely phenomenal experience, you have to go from phenomenal to perfect.
Like, well, it was technically one of the reasons why Destiny shut down their original servers, just to make sure that everyone moved over to Destiny 2.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then
that's
they had
a lot
to
of the
bring
thing
over
with live service
stuff.
games too, is that you kind of
then they
have
deleted
to
it all.
shut down the servers in order to get people to move on. This way, with it being a sequel, with there being new monsters, new mechanics, new everythings, you know more people are going to move over.
Yeah. And you also we're not playing Monster Hunter Worlds 2 like they did with Overwatch 2.
Yeah. Exactly.
Where they just slapped a new name on it, but it's essentially the exact same game.
Yep.
Forgot Overwatch.
Yeah.
It's better that way.
Yeah, it's better that way.
And just decided to reboot another game. Okay, let's not even talk about Monster Hunter Rise. I haven't even played it. I haven't even watched the trailer. I just know it's shit. Okay?
This made me
I have a
mad.
radar
This made
for
me
these
so
things.
mad.
You can ask my closest friends.
Dude, how can you have an opinion
example,
if you've never seen anything
2077.
from it?
Yeah.
I knew before it came out. I was like, this game is going
I
to
made
be
the
completely
mistake of having the
dog
Switch
shit
port
and
of
it's
it,
not going to
but
be. I said that to my mates when we were living together, and they didn't believe me. And then what do you know? Everyone talks shit about Cyberpunk for not being ready. It's not, you know, they rushed it. You know, I have a six.
I will mention this about Cyberpunk. It is fixed now, and it is a fantastic game.
So I've heard.
They're just making another
It
game
is great.
just for the sake of it. Is it all for money? Is it all for money, Capcom? Is that what you're focused on?
That's how a business works.
Who knows?
But yes, I hate to break it to you, bro.
Gemma, a hot anime Smithy waifu.
This is such a weird turnaround.
Yeah, like what?
What the fuck?
Bro,
What
bro.
the fuck? That is such a cheap marketing scheme by you.
It's not a marketing
sorry.
scheme,
Like
it's
it-
character.
Hey, bro, I hate to break it to
They
you.
felt rugged, you know.
Female NPC that you have to interact with in every Monster Hunter game is a cute girl. I'm sorry, bro. If you're afraid of talking to cute anime girls, anime games are not for you, bro. I hate to break it to you. If you're upset about a cute anime girl design in a Japanese-based company game, man,
And
your life must suck.
And I feel like I can speak for all of us when I say, like, there's nothing wrong with Gemma,
No.
right? Like, I personally don't see it as like a waifu thing. I mean, like, is
No.
she a good-looking character? Sure, but
Sure.
like, I'm in it
That's
more
part of the usual
for
thing. Sex sells.
yeah, I'm in it more for the character of her specifically. Her character very obviously being the Little Miss Forge from For You is such a great like callback. And him just calling her cheap marketing is crazy.
Yeah. And plus, if he has problems with her outfit, bro, she works in front of a forge. You look at literally anybody working in the middle of an ironworking forge, they are going to be wearing the minimal amount of clothing because, shocker, it's fucking hot.
Yeah.
Hate to break it to you.
Experienced. And
Also, it's weird that you point out Genma from Wilds, but don't even point out the what most people originally brought up that topic from, which was Rise's twins.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay, but he didn't play Rise, so he didn't know. So
he doesn't know.
Oh yeah, they were in the trailer that he didn't see, but apparently he's already what? Okay, that's actually odd. How do you actually see a trailer, or you don't see a trailer, but you've seen the game?
No, he hasn't even seen the game. He hasn't played it. He
saw
nothing.
the title
just said
card.
It was trash.
He saw the
And how does
title
he
card.
Then he can't have an opinion for that one game.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It is beyond clear to me that the only two games this man has played in the Monster Hunter franchise is Monster Hunter World and Monster Hunter Wilds, and he only did it to jump on the bandwagon. When Monster Hunter World was getting a lot more traction and people were doing the Return to Worlds campaign, was when he started playing. I guarantee it. And then he played Wilds because he's like, oh, well, Monster Hunter World was so fun. I'll play Wilds. And like, maybe, just maybe, he actually thoroughly enjoyed Worlds and was like, I am true to this Monster Hunter series and I want to keep playing it. But you're not true to the series if you're not understanding that the games are going to be different.
Also, can I harken back to the game feels slow and clunky? That is a dead giveaway that he hasn't played anything before Worlds.
Yeah.
Worlds
Like-
was clunky.
Me and Brendan, or I don't know about Brendan, but I started with 4 Ultimate.
4 was
That
where I
was
started too.
Yep. So that was the game that got us into this universe of this series. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, damn, bro, this guy would flounder hard back in those days.
Oh, yeah. And like,
I'm sitting here and I'm like, it wasn't for like one of the last games where you had to buy your pickaxes,
yeah,
your
I think so.
bug nets, your lures, your fishing lures.
Mhm.
You had to buy all of your extra tools.
You
It
didn't
was
just have
even
infinites of that.
slower back then
Oh,
because you actually had to go out,
Oh yeah, he wouldn't have survived.
farm the stuff, hunt, Also, you no scout flies, so you had to go locate the monster with your own 2 feet.
Mhm. You had to know what areas it liked to peruse. You got to hit it with paintballs so you could see it on the map.
Paintballs, and then the paintballs would eventually wear off.
Yeah. Yep.
I think what was it? I played. It was either 4 generations. I forget which.
Hmm.
Or I'm probably talking about the same game. I'm not sure. But it was like I didn't get far into that, most because I got lost in the overworld, and then I accidentally misplaced the cartridge, so I didn't find it for several years.
Yeah.
Yep.
So technically, the first Monster Hunter game I actually tried was Worlds.
Fair.
Yeah, but at least you even understand These games will be different.
And the opening for Worlds is a long just intro.
Yeah, I'm shocked he doesn't complain about. I feel like this is one of those people who enjoys the Zora Magdaros fight.
Oh my god!
I like Zora Magdaros. He's one of my favorite monsters. I understand his missions are slow.
Yeah, but they could have, like, that first one, they could have cut that mission time in half, and it would have been a perfect intro.
Yeah.
It went on, unfortunately, way longer than it needed to.
Because what? It was character customization. You get the first intro. You're on a boat. Zora Magdaros destroys boat. You had to climb up him.
Yeah,
find
you're
a
now
bird,
in movement
fly
tutorial.
away.
Yeah.
Then you're in the open world. Have to make it to safety. Interrupted by 2 different monsters. Get to safety. Finish up talking to everyone in the hub. And then you had to go on a mission to fight the first guy.
Yeah.
And now you can play the game.
It's a pretty large intro. But where did you start, David?
I started with Worlds. I've played a little bit of Rise, but I can't really say much to my whole thing. But I also understand the whole fact that the game's going to be different.
Exactly. I
started when Worlds originally started out.
Right.
Yeah.
Before all the updates.
So I feel like a lot of this dude's complaints just come from him probably being more of like a live service, like him being like so quick to be like, oh, like Destiny 2. This dude is definitely like a hardcore Destiny 2 fan.
Yeah,
and I think that affects a lot of people.
Yeah, and like I hate to break it, bro, but live services is never a good formula for video games.
It's really not.
It's like I'll always try and defend Final Fantasy 14 to an extent, but I understand some DLCs just don't hit as hard enough. People that have complained recently about Dawn Trail not being good as Endwalker, it's simply because, one, you have to write an entirely new start to a story because we've already finished one arc, so we're on to the next. So it's going to be a lot slower. You're not exactly going to be the greatest powerhouse there is, since all you've really focused on are about 4 different areas the Warrior of Light's been known in.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And I will say, with Final Fantasy XIV, that's also a JRPG at that.
Yeah.
Or, well, I guess, it's a J...
Yeah, it's a JRPG.
It's a JRPG MMO.
JRPG MMO.
The whole acronym.
Yeah, the JRPG MMO. The main key acronym there is MMO.
Yeah.
So it's a completely different formula of a game than comparing it to Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Because this ain't an MMO. This is granted, yes, it's a massively multiplayer online game because there's currently 1 million people currently playing this game right now.
Yeah.
But still majorly the Japanese RPG.
Yeah, the JRPG bit, is where most of that infinite replayability comes from. Because you want to try something new? Start a new character. Create a whole new build. In this game, in Monster Hunter, there's 13 weapons. There is 13 different ways.
I already got a second character for the new game.
Exactly.
That's trying out 2 different weapons.
Exactly.
But
there's still more that you can do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We need to see what else he has to say about Gemma.
God.
I can already... this is going to be such a long video, and I apologize for that. But, like, as avid Monster Hunter fans as we are, especially me and Neil, because we've been talking the most about it, like, we've got a lot to say about this.
Right. Okay. I remember as soon as I saw, what was it? I don't know what it was, but the introduction to the state of play or whatever it was. And we got the trailer, and we saw the Smitty, the hot anime biddy. Yeah, nice. Okay, nice. What? She looks hot, man. Wow, I'm gonna buy the game now. Oh my god, I'm such a loser, but look at the Smithy. Oh my god. I'm gonna spend 110 bucks on that. Like, holy shit.
My guy, you're in your own
bedroom. I didn't buy the game just because the girl looked hot.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to fight monsters.
Is it just me, or does she look like she's cosplaying? She doesn't fit the fantasy world at all.
What fantasy world are you playing?
Is this your...
Yeah.
Is this you trying to justify selling a full price game? You know what I mean?
Bro, are you trying to use the Smithy as an excuse?
You're only making a full price game because it has the title Monster Hunter in it, right? Right.
No. Hence why Rise was $30.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Look, it's just a beta. It's just a beta. But Capcom, I joined a server, so you can have up to 100 people in this open world, okay? You can have up to 100
Not true.
people.
Not true.
I joined a server that had about 60 people in it, and my PC almost died, went to heaven, got revived, and I killed it again. Like...
Okay. Hold on.
This is another thing we need to talk about too, because there have been a lot of complaints about that even with the full game.
Okay. I'm gonna say this. There's a real simple solution to that. It's this crazy button called online single player. Where it doesn't cause those people to spawn.
To his credit, though, he is talking about the beta. But to his discredit, he's talking about the beta.
The beta.
As if it's the full game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And because the whole point of the beta was to stress test.
And even then, you can still change settings. Like, I'm pretty sure you can turn off motion blur.
You can. Yeah.
If your computer's having a problem with that many people in it, online single player. If your computer's having issues with graphics, I hate to break it to you, welcome to the PC master race, bro. They're gonna make games that are gonna blow up your PC.
And, like, okay, I get it. I put this in my review on Steam, and I'm gonna talk about it until, like, the day that this game eventually dies. It is a more intensive game, and I understand that. But I think what people don't understand is more intensive games require more intensive rigs. And I think that's a lot of where the negativity comes from, is that not a lot of people understand that their 2070 is not going to be able to run this game.
No, at least not at like anywhere above medium graphics.
No. So I think this point is null and void. But let's hear about it.
Look back at my VOD. I had about 1 frame every 3-4 seconds. That is absolutely fucking disgusting.
Again,
it took 5 years.
It's a beta.
5 years.
It's a beta.
Capcom.
And welcome to the PC world. You're
5
always
years.
going to have to upgrade your computer when a new game comes out.
Oh my god, I can't wait to get into open world. Oh my god, I get into a world, there's 60 people, but oh my god, I can only see about 2 frames of them every 10 seconds. 5 years. What were you doing in those 5 years?
This hurts.
I mean, yeah, I'm right there with you. But he's talking about this as if you'd see all 60 of these people out in the field with you. You can only take 4 people with you out in the field. Like, they clearly thought about it. Like, they could have made it so that you see all these people doing hunts out in the field and you can just, walk up, help them hunt something. But no, they crafted it down to 4 people, which, I mean, has also been the Monster Hunter thing for ages now, that it's only been 4 hunters maximum. Yeah. But still, like, they clearly thought about
in the right mind of having 4 people, because we can shred some crazy shit.
Yeah, to be fair, 4 people is well more than enough. I can't even imagine, say, like, 20 people going after one Ray Dow or one Archveld,
Yeah,
like, and even to Capcom's credit, the more people you have, the quote-unquote harder it gets, because the monster gets more HP the more people there are. But that, like, I feel like it levels out. I feel like I hunt a monster in the same time I do as a single player as I do with 4 people. Like, sure, maybe is it a little bit faster with 4 people just because everybody's dishing out damage? Sure, but, like, the HP compensates for that. But again, I don't know, like, 5 years to what? They have 60 people in a lobby. You clearly did not see the world's open lobbies, because it was about the same thing.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, and plus with Worlds, you could only see the other. No,
you had to go to the community hub to see the other people.
And plus in Worlds, their lobbies were 4 groups of 4.
Yeah,
that you could have 16 people hanging around the hub. And
but it was
every time I would go into the hub, I would only see like maybe 4.
5 on a good day.
5 on a really good day. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, bro, when I go back to the hub and I'm playing in a recommended lobby and I see like 80 people running around, I'm like, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, like, that's the thing too. I don't know. When did this dude post this video?
It was like 11 days ago.
2 weeks ago.
February 15th. So the full game wasn't out, but private lobbies are a thing. And like Neil said, online single player is also a thing. There is stuff to combat this. So again, this whole point is just null and void.
What are you doing in those 5 years that you could have done?
And plus, he's just complaining about his PC's performance to begin with.
I said this in my live stream review.
Nobody has the same PC, so...
Fireborn. Iceborn. No, we already did Iceborn. Fireborn. Godborn. Freaking Skyborn. Freaking Tundraborn.
Bro, all of those sound dog shit.
Up the arseborn. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
All of those sound terrible.
Yeah.
I feel
Iceborn works.
Capcom thought, you know what, we see Destiny 2, we see other games that bring out DLC over the years, and the game and the players dramatically and increasingly go
See,
down
he's
a
even
slope.
admitting it himself now.
Listen to me.
Do not get closer. What is happening?
Do you genuinely think that if you kept on bringing out DLCs for Monster Hunter fucking World, that players would dramatically decrease and you would lose more?
Yes! You literally just said that's what's happening to live service games!
He was clearly saying players increase, but his hand was going like that. He subconsciously knew that he was lying his ass off, bro.
And plus, I'm sitting here, bro, of course they're gonna look at live service games as the very first place they go. And you can literally watch their numbers go down as DLCs come out.
Yep.
It's not because you have to, what was it? Before World, you have to complete basically the entire first game before you can even really start scratching at Iceborn.
Yeah, that's the thing too. The DLCs were locked behind completion of the story.
They made a thing to pay. I can't remember if you could pay for it or not, but to where you could start at Iceborn, but you would be put at the very end of the game.
Was there a thing that could do that?
Yes,
I don't remember.
There was. I used it once because I didn't feel like playing it through another character.
Fair.
Exactly.
You were lost.
And I'm sitting here, and if you make another DLC, that yes, it will attract some newer players again. But again, the older players who are like, oh, this is kind of interesting. I kind of want to start a new character. They either have to use, say, one of those skip aheads, which who knows what random gear it will give you. Sometimes.
It's not very well built gear.
Exactly. See, that's why. Because the only way to get to said DLC is to play through either the previous DLC or the whole base game to begin with, which is probably going to be at least a 12-hour experience.
Yeah, so would, in theory, them releasing more DLCs, extend the lifetime of a Monster Hunter game? I mean, maybe, but you would lose interest so fast on the people who are joining super late, and they're like, oh, I'll buy all these DLCs, because maybe there's cool stuff.
But all these monsters, I don't want to fight all these monsters to get to the end.
Yeah,
it's literally... any DLC past the first one that adds story is life support.
Pretty much.
Players, okay, this is coming from someone who's a seasoned Monster Hunter World fanboy, okay?
That's where we take your entire opinion out the window. We noticed.
I thought he was gonna say from a seasoned Monster Hunter fanboy, and I was about to flip out, dude.
Yeah,
because that is absolutely not true. This rant
correct.
would not exist if you were a true Monster Hunter fan.
Fanboy. Yeah.
Oh boy,
it's very clear that you're a Monster Hunter World fan.
Okay, I needed to hit that face palm really hard.
Console game, as I'm pretty sure from memory, and then they just put it onto the fucking PC because they wanted. They knew that the players of Monster Hunter World were not playing it as much anymore because they weren't bringing out any fucking DLCs for one, but because there's been a long gap in between, and then people go, oh my god, Monster Hunter, let's get it on PC already. Yeah. So they did it, and then it's fucking dog shit. Right? It's dog shit.
Again, you are not allowed to have an opinion on that game because you've never played it, you've never seen the trailer.
I mean, everybody is entitled to their opinions, not everybody's opinion is right, okay? Let's just get that out of the way.
If you haven't interacted with the thing that you have an opinion on, your opinion is invalid.
Yep.
Because you have no baseline information. Where is this information that is
like,
dog shit coming from?
This section is called Rise was a letdown, PC players left behind. How are you going to say that when you didn't play it?
You didn't play it, you didn't watch the trailer, you didn't have any interaction with this game. You're not allowed to have an opinion.
I'm genuinely curious to see what he says about this.
So do you really think players would not buy your DLC? Because I'll fucking tell you right now, Capcom, we would. My God, I'll pay $110 for another DLC in Monster Hunter World without a blink of an eye.
Okay, congrats, buy Wilds.
Decision right now for Monster Hunter Wilds.
Spend $150.
Like, holy shit.
Try something new for once.
Yeah, sit back down.
For the love of God.
Capcom, you're going in the wrong direction. I'm telling you, I'm
the
not
stats say otherwise.
Okay, I'm not afraid to speak the truth of the game, of the gaming era, the gaming world, the gaming space.
You're not speaking the truth. You're speaking your opinion.
Don't get me wrong. People are going to buy this game and they're going to play it, but mark my words. Watch the graphs. People will buy this game. It'll spike up, and then guess what? It'll stay up there for a little bit, and it'll fucking crumble. Do you know why?
Hey, buddy, I hate to break it to you.
Veteran players,
all games do
like
that
myself,
when they first come out.
are going to commit back to the base game.
Because games are not made for everybody.
Guys? How many times have you seen this in the gaming era? Right. What are examples I can think of? Oh my God, there's so many. I can't even think on the top of my head, but there's so many.
What was that cut?
Situations where there's a game, people go, "Oh man."
Did anybody else notice that cut?
Like, okay, I get it. He was probably like just sitting there trying to think about games, but like the fact that you can't think of an example speaks volumes. You
start the. How many times has this happened in the gaming community? So many times.
Yeah.
I can't think of a single one.
You're curious. I decided to look up quickly Monster Hunter World's chart. It quite literally keeps spiking randomly and then going on a quick down low for a while.
It's literally like, because I promise you, World's graph was, at its peak, like really good because it's a Monster Hunter game. Everybody's going to buy it. And then it went down as people lost interest. And then the whole Rise probably came out, like the trailer for Rise probably came out. People came back to it and they're like, oh, I got to play Monster Hunter before the new one comes out. Rise came, it might have dipped a little bit as people moved to that. People came back to Worlds. It's different. Every game's graph is going to be different. But there will always be an interest, a waiver, and eventually a descent. There is no game that is going to keep its player base as much as it does. There's just no way. People will lose interest.
Yeah.
There's a major spike in 2019.
Unless you pull an original Coke formula for your game where you just start slapping it full of drugs, people are going to lose interest.
Yeah. All right.
Developers go, hey, you know what? Let's do another game, all right, a sequel. And people go, this is not the bloody same game. This isn't the same fucking game that I've played.
It's called innovation, forehead!
How many times has this happened? When are
Pause!
Going to learn? When are companies...
How many times has this happened? With literally every game that has ever been created except for Overwatch 2, Destiny 2. Let's see. How many other games that are literally just a copy and paste of their previous game and it died almost immediately?
Call of Duty, any sports
Call of Duty. I can list off 3 games where they didn't change a goddamn thing and their player base died.
Yep. Like, literally, look at any sports game ever. It is the same thing over and over again with a different roster. What the fucking do? Yeah. And they do terrible. You go to any, secondhand game shop, and those sell for, $1.
Yeah.
It's literally, people will buy, I've got Madden 24, but Madden 25 is coming out. Let me sell my copy of Madden 24 and buy Madden 25, because it's the same game.
Which one?
and I'm sitting here and I'm like, yeah, there's a little bit of hype for the new Madden game, but I don't hear people out on the street bro, are you I don't walk into video game stores and hear people be like, oh bro, are you hyped for the new Madden game? Bro, are you hyped for the new NBA game? Are you hyped for the new Major League Baseball game? No! Because it's the same shit, just slap a different athlete on the front of it and add new people to the roster.
Yep.
Literally, you could do what this guy is complaining about for every single Madden whatever game and just start adding people as DLC.
Yeah.
I was like, I was going to bring up soccer, but that also just majorly encourages gambling half the time.
Yeah, that's even worse.
Yep.
In the gaming world going to learn. I feel like people who work for these fucking companies aren't players. They don't understand how players think and feel.
That's true.
How many times have you heard the community say, make another DLC?
Never.
Not
for this one. Not for Monster Hunter.
Almost
never.
Yeah, almost
That's pretty
never.
much all I wanted to say. Capcom, you need to reevaluate your fucking decisions because this isn't
Bro's gonna
unacceptable.
break his desk.
Your game is going to fail.
You know what Capcom needs
No,
to
it's
do?
not.
Just like
Another
Rise
Mega
did.
Man game.
Rise
Okay, you
didn't
can say
fail
Rise was
either.
Successful all you want, but guess what? You made another fucking game for a console instead of a PC.
That's because it was made by a different company.
Hey, you know what? We got a new game, Monster Hunter Rise. Oh my god, the PC community's freaking out. A new fucking game for PC? No, it's for fucking Nintendo. Or Switch, or whatever the fuck it was. PlayStation, I don't know what the fuck it was on. But it was on a console.
Yeah, because you never interacted with it.
That is disgusting. Who is at the head of Capcom right now? Who is at the head of Monster Hunter? Listen
A very
to my
smart and
words.
intelligent man.
Go back to Monster Hunter World,
No.
make another DLC. And I promise you, you'll make a profit more than you ever would for Rise and Wilds combined.
No.
I can barely remember the commander's
Gotta say,
name.
okay,
Wild.
Capcom, fuck you.
Or World.
Out.
World.
Love you guys. See you soon.
Okay, I hope this dude left the community after that one. But, like, okay, final thoughts. I mean, I don't even know if I have words for what we just watched.
To an extent, I remember the characters. I can't remember their names. Like again, with the commander in World, but mostly because I couldn't remember his name because everyone called him the commander. I ended up calling him Ganondorf at one time.
Well, yeah, because they didn't
face
have names. They didn't say their names. It was
not
just
too often.
the captain, the admiral,
That's right.
the smithy, or like the first fleet's leader or second fleet's
Commander of the
leader.
Third Fleet.
Yeah, I'm like, they didn't have names. Not even your handler had a name.
Yep. And
they like even looking it up on the wiki, she didn't even have a name.
I mean, the Masterful Chef basically had his own name, but that's also because that's what he was called.
Yeah, and I'm like, bro, did any of these people actually have names?
And say more than just the obvious.
Not too often.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, final thoughts. Look, if you don't like a game, don't like it. You don't gotta go on an angry rant just because a company removed your favorite part of the game and removed a part of the game that you don't understand as a company. That's part of what they have done for decades now.
Yeah.
So I could have, like, what was it? When I was talking to David a while back, it was quite literally just Clutch Claw is annoying. It worked half the time. And then in Rise, to an extent, the Wire Bug could be argued to be, to an extent, like the Clutch Claw, but a lot more versatile and mainly focused on movement.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
My final thoughts on this garbage. 1, learn the series before you start complaining about it. 2, if you have an opinion on a game that you have literally never interacted with, just keep it to yourself. Just keep it to yourself. And 2, video games have to innovate, or every single game on the market is exactly the same.
Yeah.
Some of those innovations kill the franchise. Look at Fallout.
Sometimes it's a hit. Sometimes it's a miss. It is a risk every company has to take.
But that's business.
But that's business, bro.
All right. Any final thoughts? Matt, David?
Frustrating.
I agree.
I mean, I said my last pieces on those. Wasn't much, but they were there.
Yeah.
At least from what I remember, since my logic's very PC with it when it comes to mostly World, since I don't fully remember playing it.
Yeah, and look, I'll say this, like, this is a different type of video. Like, I think we as a collective have not reacted to something like this on a video, but please do not go harass this guy. The comments have already completely obliterated this dude. There is novels upon novels in this comment section of the Monster Hunter community ripping this dude apart. I think he understands, and maybe even after this sequel to this video that he did.
Yeah, I also went back and checked the like-dislike ratio. Homeboy got sent to the Shadow Realm.
Yeah. Only thing you gotta do is watch the video and dislike it if you dislike it. That's pretty much all I can say to you. But
yeah,
I think that's about it.